Good day, people, and welcome to another episode of Four Brothers in the Basement. I'm your host, Fox Dorsey, and on today's show, we're going to take a closer look at the PS Vita, ask ourselves which handheld modern device will we use out in public, discuss Nintendo's dominance over the handheld market in the last 30 plus years, share with you our greatest handheld moments, and give you a game to play. But right now, let's see who's in the basement with us today. Over to my left, we have Will Dorsey. Yay. We have DT Dorsey. Over to the right, we have Lex Dorsey. Bro. And you all may remember Phoenix Child from one of the very first episodes. Phoenix, say what's up.
Hey, how we doing?
Yeah,
Good to be back.
Alright guys, first things first, let's see what everybody's been playing. Let's start off with Will. What you been playing, man?
Well, recently my little brother gave me the privilege of playing Mass Effect 3, so I am currently working on that right now.
Alright, DT.
I'm playing nothing new, really. Modern Warfare. Still playing
Yeah.
I finished it. Kind of upset.
You finished it!
I'm upset, though.
Oh, wait. Let's ask him real quick. Is it Game of the Year still?
No.
Alright. Lex, what you been playing, man?
Well, I've been playing actually 3 different games I'm rotating on. Skyrim, Mass Effect 2 because I'm letting William play Mass Effect 3, and my personal favorite that's coming out on March 13th, Naruto Ultimate Storm Ninja Generations, baby.
Alright, Phoenix, what you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a couple of games. I've been getting my Battlefield 3 on. That should be Game of the Year. I've been playing my Skyrim, and then I gotta play Mass Effect 2 over because, man, I found a secret about Mass Effect 3. Deplete all the planets in Mass Effect 2.
Don't be telling people what to do.
Hey, yeah, what? Hey, whoa.
Don't worry, I'm already doing that right now.
So we want to thank Phoenix Child for spoiling part of Mass Effect 3 because I haven't started playing.
It doesn't matter. All those games are all RPG games. Nobody plays that.
And this is coming from the man who just finished Modern Warfare 3.
There's nothing else out.
You don't realize that our
5
new
months
generation
later.
is going over to the RPG side.
Yeah, you see the generations going down. Everyone on this list is under me in Call of Duty.
You saw
Really? Anyway, we're going to keep the show moving right along before we get into an endless debate. Nintendo has dominated. And when I mean say dominated, I mean has literally owned the handheld market. As you can see from the table, about half of the devices on here are Game Boys. You have the original Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, Game Boy Micro. What else came next? Nintendo DS, Nintendo DSi, Nintendo DSi XLX, the large one.
Got the light.
The Nintendo DS Lite, and then it was the 3DS. So I've probably named about 8 or 9 devices.
And you missed a bunch of them.
And I probably missed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So, guys, what was your first Game Boy that you ever played? Let's start.
That gray.
Whichever one you owned. Okay, we're gonna let DT go first.
I guess it's because I'm the oldest one here, but it had to be this one. The original color, the original gray.
That's
Everyone-
mine. By the
All
way.
pixels. I don't even remember what it was. It's like 3 bits.
See all the bits.
Now, and actually, what's funny about Nintendo's dominance is that it's not like they didn't have rivals. Even when that first Game Boy came out, and I think when Game Boy Pocket and Game Boy Color came out, Game Gear
The Game Gear
came out. Right.
And I had a
Why
Game
don't we
Gear.
have a Game Gear?
Because why?
Because Nintendo destroyed it.
There's no resale value in the Game Gear.
I got games on my DS for it.
You can resell these. I mean, look, I bought a Nintendo for $115 just because it had a lid on it.
Oh yeah.
It's back there.
It's back there.
Just because it had a lid on it.
Yeah.
You know how much you can get for a Nintendo with a lid? Resale value. You sell that Game Gear now, you're not going to get nothing.
Will, what was your first Game Boy that you owned or played?
That right there, that see-through, you see all the little computer components in there. That's mine.
Alright,
And I had fuchsia. Fuchsia, that's the color. Fuchsia. It's not pink, like he's been saying. It's fuchsia.
Lex, what was your first experience with the Game Boy?
Well, my first experience with the Game Boy, since y'all was still big on this and I couldn't really get my hands on it, my mother got me for Christmas the very first Pokemon that came out, the Pikachu version when it came out the
Yeah,
first
it's the
time.
yellow one, yeah,
The yellow Game Boy with the
man.
Pikachu on there was blue and yellow on the back with the carrying case.
I had the purple case.
And when Pokemon was hot, it was just hot.
I
Good.
had the serpent.
I remember that one. Phoenix, what was your first experience?
I'm just as old as you guys. I had this. 3rd grade. My first game was Zelda Link's Awakening. I even remember Christmas.
I think it still works.
It probably does.
I might know. I know it's a Tetris around here somewhere. You gotta have Tetris. I'm not have Tetris.
So, with Nintendo having the dominance, like I said, in the handheld market, and now it's kind of funny because history is kind of repeating itself with the PlayStation Vita, which we'll take a look at later on in the show. So, what do you guys think about? Let's just compare when the Game Boy and the Game Gear were out with today's two current market leaders, the 3DS and the PS Vita. Do you think the PS Vita, let's just say, do we think the PS Vita will actually stand a chance against Nintendo and the 3DS?
It can stand a chance because for a while that Sega Game Gear was out and I had it and I had the Sonic and I had all the games that came with it. It just the quality and the number of titles were kind of lackluster. So when Game Boy came on the scene with the Pokemon, and the Pokemon came out with color, and then the Game Boy, and it kept improving, and over time is what was stronger.
Well, you got to look at what they did in Japan, how they came out with Vita only in Japan because what was coming out over here, the new game for DS. 3DS was coming out at the same time, wasn't it? Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart was coming out.
Mario Kart was coming out. Coming out at the same time. So they hold it off
Because you
in the
can't
state.
You can't stop Mario Kart.
And see, and that's
So, just like what he's saying is, you put the Vita out against Mario Kart, not even a system, one title. You're not gonna survive.
Okay, so then, Phoenix, let me ask you this question. What do you think made the Game Boy last as long as it did?
Well, first, like Darren was saying, there's a lot of things that the Game Gear had that was just lackluster. For example, everybody do remember the games, but most importantly, if anybody really remembers, 8 AA batteries for children? Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? That was one reason why I didn't have it. And then the second reason, all the games went with it. I can't explain any good. Link, Zelda, we had the Marios, we had the Kirbys, we had the Maddens. They had even sports games. Yeah, the only thing that was really a big benefit for the Game Gear was it had color at the time compared to the Game Boy.
That was it. It had color.
Yep.
That was it.
Alright, stop. Okay, so based off of the Game Boy's games, you think that was one of the reasons why it had such longevity. Let's talk about the graphics, because when the Game Boy came out, those graphics didn't compare anything to what Game Gear had. And so you can kind of say the same thing right now. How do you compare the 3DS graphics with the PS Vita's graphics in that sense?
What's happening is, like you said, they're saying marketing. You're marketing a PS Vita for, I would say, my generation. I'm now close to 30, and I played the Major League Baseball. I mean, the show. I mean, all those games. But right now, I have 2 kids. If I buy that PSP Vita versus a Game Boy 3DSi, or well, I have no idea what kids call it, versus the Nintendo 3DS, I will get more pleasure out of that 3DS because everyone in my household can play it, versus just me playing that one particular Vita.
So then let's just say that it's not marketing for your generation. Let's say mine, because I'm 25. I'm like, I don't have a family yet, so but it's going over to that. So I'm still basically on my own. So let's just say that I do go out. I do spend most of my time outside. So like I guess having the 4G or the wireless capabilities of being able to play that. But then again, I don't play like baseball or basketball, nothing like that, none of the sports game. I'm more, shooting games, probably RPGs.
You're more 100% RPG.
Well, yeah, 100% RPG. I was waiting for the dungeon game that come out. It looked better at E3, but for some reason it only has what 3.2 stars now.
Yeah, it's down there. A game I'm looking for, and once again, I'm in the same bracket with Will. I want to be outside. I want to enjoy my games whenever. I do actually play some of the Maddens, some of the MLBs, so that's actually kind of geared towards me, and it's good to know that I can play my PS3 at home and then just transfer it to my system and just keep playing. Because once again, like the commercial did say, I do not like just pausing the game just to go to work. I want to pause the game and play it as long as possible before I actually have to put it down. And that actually is a huge selling point for me, at least.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. One of the features that we mentioned that you'll see later on in the show is that the PS Vita can transfer saves from your, like, let's take an example for MLB The Show. You can play it on your PS Vita, you can pause it, save it, and transfer that data over to your PS3 and vice versa. So do you think that's one of the main features that stands out that might help it succeed in this market?
Yeah, that's a good main feature because I might be at home on my own Vita, but like, you know what? I feel like I want to see this on a bigger screen. I'm tired of holding it in my hands and looking down the screen. Just save it to my PS3, grab my controller, cut it on, and we playing. Just simple as that.
But that wasn't the first technology to come out with that. I mean, you always got to follow the leader. And the first person to come out with that, we all know, is the Xbox, Microsoft, and the cloud. I mean, they came out with the cloud system where you could transfer everything, and now they're following suit. It's gonna it's gonna boost sales for that, because that's one thing that PS3 or Sony lacked.
But the only thing that Xbox is missing is
a handheld.
The actual handheld.
And you know what?
I can move it to cloud and go to a friend's house and go bring it back and play it right there.
You can say that, but look what happened with the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast had a handheld,
a
little controller,
a little
and
memory card. And I think that's what Microsoft didn't want to do that. Microsoft saw what happened and didn't want to jump in this rat race between the handheld. They don't need to. They're fine with just the system by themselves.
Okay, so what do you think the PS Vita has to do in order to beat Nintendo and beat GameBoy?
They need to drop that $30 a month service.
Oh,
that's
my God.
I'm telling you, that's the only reason I'm not buying it.
Well, you're not buying it just because of the 4 gigabyte $30 plan. While they still have the Wi-Fi.
But see, then again,
the only time I use Wi-Fi is in my house.
Yeah, so that's another.
The only time I use Wi-Fi is in my house.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Okay, it has Wi-Fi, but that kind of defeats the purpose of it being well. It doesn't defeat the purpose of being mobile, but if I'm gonna get a PS Vita for its mobility, why not get the 3G? Like you said, I want to go outside and I want to play it outside. Like some of those games that are on there, look, Unit 13 is a shooter that's on there. Yeah. It looks really good. And if I don't get the 3G model, then I'm just sitting at home playing. Then it's like I might as well play Call of Duty. Why am I playing on the handheld at home? What's the point? Okay, wait, I'm sorry. So let's just ask this question: how many of you guys actually sit at home and play any handheld? Be it your smartphone, your tablet, iPad, iPhone, anything.
See, we all 4 of us have Pokemon, so they're right there. We all sat at home and played Pokemon, right there, because Pokemon is a good game, and we would sit there on the computer.
There's only one
training
reason
Pokemon.
we did that, though. The only reason we did that is because Pokemon was not on the big system. If Pokemon was on the big system, we'd be on the big system.
We be playing on the big system.
A perfect example is when Coliseum came out. What happened? We
were
all
on the big system.
got the piece for just a transfer straight to the big TV.
64 of us that came to one house to play on that big system.
And then when you got the little piece that goes for the GameCube, we were playing it on the GameCube right there.
What you're talking about is titles, mobility, and the marketing.
It sounds like the PS Vita hasn't learned from the history of the PSP, and so I don't think it's gonna do well. I said it from day one. Once I first heard it was coming out, it's not gonna do well. It may, build up steam, but come this upcoming holiday, 2012, if there's not a price point drop, it's not gonna be around next year. I guarantee. Now, with all of these different handheld devices, you're probably thinking, which one is great for me? But a better question is, which device is not going to make me look like a 12-year-old out in public? Well, we're here to answer that question for you. From your iPads, to your iPhones, to your smartphones, Androids, Game Boy, 3DS, or PS Vita, which device would you use in public and not feel ashamed? Let's go straight to Lex.
Well, to play the games I want to play, since, you know, I'm still in the 21-year range and still growing towards it, I'm still in 3DS. I can still whip it out, still play my games. People get all interested with it, you know. I can stop playing my games, take pictures of people, you know. Even the ladies like it. The ladies come to it, they're like, oh, what you playing? Is that a kid game? No, it's something for everybody to get excited with.
I want to know what ladies are coming up to you checking out your 3DS. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies. You might like it. I just haven't met any. Not saying I'm looking.
No, there are a lot of women starting to get into the gaming era now, which I'm surprised of. This one girl came up to me and said, oh, you playing Mario Kart? And I was shocked. She looked real nice, and I didn't think she knew about it. She played with me a little bit. She had her own 3DS, and we chatted a little bit. We shared our walk past with each other. We had a good time.
Wait, how did
Where did this happen on the CTA?
Let's not get off track. Phoenix. Phoenix. Okay, so Phoenix, out of all the devices, any device you could use, which one would you use in public and not feel like you're a 12-year-old?
I don't feel like a 12-year-old, period. I'm still gonna play with my DS Lite. Why? Because I can still play my old games. I have a boatload of the old games. I've got a boatload of the DS games. I'm not gonna lie to you. I still feel grown enough to play this just because I can still be like, and if I want to lie, sure, this is my brother's. I'm just actually playing it because I want to play it. And I gotta go to work. I'm not gonna burn my battery just to try to play a game. I can burn the battery on that and charge it at work.
I can use that to get phone numbers.
All right, D.
One device I'm definitely not playing in public is that's that iPad. Because you never know what generation of that iPad that person has. Oh, I bought the brand new $600 iPad. No, you don't. That's the first generation. The price dropped $200. Stop lying. It all looks the same. So, everyone who's iPad or iOS this, iOS, man, Android. You never know. Android.
Never know.
Top of the line. There's millions of them, and that's what I play in public. There's baseball on here. You want to play?
Will, which device are you playing out in public?
Look, I was at work playing my DS, so I don't know what to tell you. I was just sitting there, I was standing there playing, I was playing Donkey Kong, it was the emulator. I was playing Donkey Kong Jr. too. That's because Eddie wants to have a comment. But anyway, yeah, I was playing Donkey Kong, so.
Alright, so I guess I feel bad because apparently real gamers don't care what they look like when they play out in public. But me, I'm not playing the 3DS out in public. And I'm not. Why? Because, okay, let's think about it. Everybody has a cell phone, right? So now I got a cell phone. Now you're talking about having a 3DS to play games with. I want one device to play games on. Now,
you know why he doesn't play 3DS out in public? Because he plays RPGs and he hasn't played Street Fighter yet. Have you played Street Fighter 3D on this thing? Oh my god.
It's amazing. It's like your eyes are pop out. It really is. Play Star Fox in that. It makes it feel like you're staring at a screen a little bit too long. You got closed eyes.
Okay, iOS does have Street Fighter, but there's 4 buttons, and one button does the Hadouken and the Come on. That's not a real game.
Here's a better question. You got your phone, you just got on a CTA, you're like, I want to play a game on the way home. Oh, it's in red. What am I going to do? Play a game or just sit there and look lost like everybody else does?
You know you're going to play
I'm going to twiddle my thumbs.
Anyway, we're running out of time, so I want to let everyone out there know that there are a lot of great games out. If you have played Mass Effect or if you haven't played, now is the time to jump into Mass Effect 3.
It really is.
You can find the first 2 very cheap. Go out and play those, or if you don't have the money for it, if you have a PC or if you have a PlayStation 3, a lot of RPG MMOs are going free to play. Free to play, which means you can play, you can have the same experiences as those who actually bought the game. Everyone go out, check out free to play MMOs. It's an excellent genre. Not enough of us play it.
Arcade. There you go.
Not enough of African American people play it.
League of Legends.
There's no stigmatism attached to it that you live in a basement and you don't never come out. They're fun. Try them. please. That is our time. I want to thank all of the brothers for being here today. And remember, there's a gamer in all of us. You just need the right game. C4. That was actually your line. Great,